Well, we're unpacking it once again. I'm really enjoying this. I'm loving the tape aspect of it as well. I didn't love the fact that on a huge college football weekend, the Pac-12 was largely irrelevant without Oregon and Utah being on the national landscape. That will change and change in a hurry, as the next 3 weeks are really going to define where those two teams sit. If they were on the table, I think we're looking at probably number 5 and number 6 matching up in Santa Clara, which is exactly what they need. And as for the local team, well, as this tape's going to show you, they got exactly what they needed from a defense. Kind of like the Seahawks defense in Santa Clara. These Huskies in Corvallis were doing things we hadn't seen all season long. And some of what they were doing was scheme associated, but more than anything, just like Jadeveon Clowney, you had a couple D-Linemen for the Huskies take this game over. This was a Beaver offense that was rolling, but let me show you Joe Tryon, who I thought had his best game maybe ever as a Husky. Statistically speaking, he did. Watch him on the outside. I'm going to show you 3 plays here quickly of what Tryon did. And this was his first sack of the game. This was the 4th play of the game offensively. And just watch A, the quickness, and B, his usage of hands. Right? Once he gets his hands, whoever gets his hands, first of all, you hear from D-Linemen all the time and why they do all these drills with their hands. If you can get your hands on that offensive lineman first, you typically win, and that's exactly what Tryon does as he gets the first sack of the game for the Huskies. But it wasn't just in the passing game where Tryon got it going. Watch him against the run. And kind of like Jadeveon Clowney, these two played such similar games for their teams. It's just the biggest of times, both in the passing game and the run game. I showed you the sack earlier, and I showed you the usage of the hands. Well, it's the same deal when it comes to those hands, but instead of just pushing up the field, he sheds that left tackle. He comes inside, makes a huge play, a real tone setter of not just stopping the pass, being able to play the run. That's what the elite guys do, and you just got to defeat your block. Something the Huskies had a hard time with this season, but not in Corvallis, defeating blocks. And then lastly, well, you defeat the pass and you get a sack. You defeat the run, and this was probably my favorite of all. This was a 4th down play that Oregon State decides that they're going to go for right in midfield in this first half, and they're going to run a little play to get their back out of the backfield. This is called awareness, and many times these defensive ends, and you can see the communication. Joe's communicating before the snap. He knows what the call is, but many times these defensive ends, they just lose their minds. They want to get to the quarterback. They want to stop the run. They want to stop the pass. And you know what they don't do? They don't play their assignment. But that's not what Tryon does here. He knows what his assignment is, and he's got the hot outlet. And not only does he cover it up, but he makes that tackle in the open field. Even better from this look. Watch Tryon again. He's on the outside. He knows his assignment. He communicates it outside. And when that back swings out, he is the hot outlet versus this pressure look. And he doesn't lose his mind. He stays with his assignment, and then ultimately he closes, he finishes, he makes the tackle, a huge momentum play in a first half dominated by the Husky defense. And then unpacking it, really can't be unpacking it unless we're talking about quarterbacks too. Not just great defense by the Huskies, some offense that continues to struggle. An offense that just did not find any rhythm against a bad Oregon State defense. And let me just give you a little insight here on Jacob Eason. This was a 3rd down play. He's going to have Hunter Bryant on a vertical. And this is what Jacob has gotten the last 3 weeks. What has everybody done to Eason? Really starting with Oregon, followed by Utah. Everybody wants to get in his face because they know if this pocket starts to get collapsed, that is where Jacob struggles a little bit. When that pocket is clean and he sets his feet, he's letting it rip. So this was a 3rd down vertical that ultimately falls incomplete. This is a pretty basic pressure that comes. Running back steps up in. What I would love to see Jacob do here, and you're going to see it from the other view, is feel this. Feel that rush coming. Slide here. Take one little step that way. Create a little bit of that error so you can throw that rocket shot. Unfortunately, that pressure comes right in Jacob's face. I love how he stands strong. He took some shots. He is a tough dude, but this is just some of that little basics of feel, of knowing what's coming. Hey, man, you see the blitz coming. You know what's coming. So just do like Tom Brady. The best way I've heard this is quarterback coaches say, find that little soft space. Find the little air in the pocket. Where is there going to be some air coming? You want to get rid of this. Number 1, I'd like to see you stare this safety down a little bit this way. Number 2, you are feeling this, so just a gentle slide to the soft space here, and then you can throw your rocket shot. Instead, you kind of stand stagnant. You're staring it down, and then ultimately that pressure comes right in your face. You can't finish. And that was a missed shot, one of a few of those, unfortunately, in that game. And it comes back again. And this is what I'm watching. This is what the NFL guys are watching. How about some instinct? A little feel in the pocket. Find that safe spot. Find that ground so you can let that arm truly be unleashed.